Here we go. This is going to be a fun vlog today, peeps. It touches on lifestyle, tech, and a little science, a little craziness, some business, and there's the man with the blue gloves. Carl Waldemar! We are in like a nondescript building. Here we are. I don't know what you guys got cooking in there. I see like a lot of lights and stuff. So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun vlog today. I've been wanting to do this vlog, Carl, for over a year and a half with you.
I know.
And he's kept telling me, he's told me no, I don't know how many times. So what we're gonna show you in here is something really unique and different here in Kansas. We're in the southern Johnson County area. And yeah, let's just get to it. Alright, here we go. I told you I was going to show you something unique and different. And with all the stuff that's going on, look at this. We got hydroponics going on. Carl, Terrence, right?
Yes, sir.
So they're going to show me something that they created. How long ago was this?
Oh, it's been a journey since about the beginning of 15.
Yeah. So they started this concept, this idea, and there I was like, there's no way. He was sharing with me all the different things we were going to do. And now I've been wanting to shoot video, and he has now got it to a, basically you guys have really created something that's, you're harvesting every 2 weeks?
Twice a week.
Oh, he's harvesting twice
a week. Fresh product in the market.
Okay, so this is called vertical growing, correct?
Yes.
What are the other keywords, the buzzwords that you would say this is?
Well, it's vertical, it's hydroponic, which means soilless growing.
And you're using LED lights?
Yeah, you know, we got a good energy footprint.
I know there's a huge market for this stuff, and I know that people are going to have questions. Can we just go through some of the dynamics of growing lettuce and all that stuff in this system? Because we're in an urban environment. We are in a warehouse right here in southern Johnson County.
Correct.
And really nobody even knows you're here.
No. Except for the,
That's good.
We had to put the black on the windows so
yeah,
they
it's
couldn't
blacked
see
out.
us.
Can't
so
see.
They thought we were growing weed. So.
We're
weed free.
Yeah, we're weed free. Exactly. Well, you truly are, because you're growing weed free lettuce. So we're gonna go through this because this is actually very technical. It's amazing. I cannot show you everything because it's taken them a very long time to get where they're at. So I'm not gonna give you all the big glorious secrets, but you may glean some education out of this deal. So let's go through this. For my group, my peeps, starting from the beginning, how do you grow hydroponic lettuce?
You got to start with the nursery and the seeding.
Let's do some seeding.
Let's just go on over here. Because they can't come into the big vertical units until they got roots. So we give them their roots. So this is, you're looking at basically the first 2 weeks of growing. We use
different stages then?
Yeah, this has just got harvested out, transplanted is what we use the term.
Okay.
The newer ones like these here, which you don't see any growing in, these are just planted out. Okay, these were done here.
How long does it turn, like when you put a seed in, how long does it take?
Well, this has been probably about 3 or 4 days to get there. It takes about 2 weeks to get to where you're actually going to transplant and you have the roots underneath. Okay. That's what you want because now it's ready to go. Because the water only runs a couple times a day here, so you don't drown them, okay? But when you come to the vertical units, you have water constantly because you have roots and you need to provide the nutrients to the system here.
All right, Terrence, tell me, where do these go from here? Where do they,
so you take, so they go into these carts. Over here I can show you. Basically we take these cubes here, okay? And watch out, you might get a little wet.
This one here, nope.
Well, here, you plant them basically in there, and then they go back up in here. So
you've got that system set so the water's running through here down constantly.
Absolutely.
Dripping through.
Yep. So they constantly have water always on them, and that's just how they grow for 5 weeks in this grow out.
Okay, so we got 5 weeks. Now what?
So
then we got to harvest.
Then you got to harvest them.
Growing them.
You got to put them in packaging.
The cycle itself for raising lettuce is 5 weeks. No, it's 2 weeks for babies,
Correct.
5 weeks to harvest.
For grow out, then we harvest. Correct. Which the efficiencies of having the nutrients with it buys us about 7 days. It's normally about 8 weeks to grow lettuce in a natural environment.
Okay.
But we have the continuous nutrient levels are maintained and everything else, so you're able to control the environment.
Okay. And then Terrence, he went and got, this is the finished product.
This is the finished product.
So the company's name is Land Seafood, which is actually pretty cool. We've got different types of lettuce.
yeah, so this is our romaine lettuce here, which you see on the cart. So it's just by leaves. So it doesn't fit into the container well, so we rip off the leaves, but we harvest twice a week, so it goes into your store, you know, within 24 hours of us picking it,
Right.
and then you eat it fresh. And unlike this is one of our butter heads, one of our mini butter heads, our Theodore.
So when it comes out, see this little root system? That's really all you have.
Yep. But on top, then you get that beautiful head of lettuce. You get those big leaves, and it's just
So
real green,
good.
real healthy for you too.
It's
So
really good.
It really is. So
This is what Sheila brings home, my wife brings home lettuce all the time from these guys. The lettuce itself, let's talk about some benefits of growing it this way. As far as the lettuce goes, growing in this capacity, one, it's cleaner. We don't have any bugs, so you're not spraying any insecticides.
nothing.
Yeah, snap. So there's no bugs, there's no insecticides, there's nothing that's going on them. You're literally letting them grow within the environment that you've created here.
Correct.
Right.
All the nutrients are in the water and they're funneling through, and you just monitor
Yes.
the nutrients.
And we even filter out the water before
Right.
it goes in with all the chlorine, everything that filters out. We do the reverse osmosis process, so it is as clean as you can possibly get it for the plants.
Here we are, we've got lighting. Now when you first started on the lighting, this was a grow pack, right?
Oh yeah.
So when they first started, I followed them and they had batches of lettuce and everything dying because of heat,
Right.
dying because they didn't get the correct lighting. Now you've got things down to a technical science, right?
Yep.
They're using these LED lights, and they were sharing with me that they have to be a specific distance. So like they have these, depending on the grow season, they have these little wires here, and these wires, they calculate the distance from how far it has to be away in the different growth cycles. So it's not like this is like haphazard. It is very scientific.
Yes.
There's a process we follow.
Yeah, we learned trial and trial by fire. Let's just say
That's
that.
what it, yes.
Yeah.
And now they're to this point, which is absolutely amazing. Now here is the secret sauce. I want you to notice how green this lettuce is. A lot of people think we need to get rid of CO2, right?
Right.
What they don't understand is we need CO2 because the plants eat it. That's what they eat. So we are in a closed environment. You see all these plants right here. It's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plants.
Yep.
So the question comes into, how are they not eating all the CO2 in this environment? And this is something they added just recently. So Terrence, tell us how you develop something.
Through mushrooms. So you basically
Mushrooms. Listen, mushrooms. Now this is crazy. This is gonna go
Not
deep.
morels.
No, this is gonna go deep. So all of us scientific peeps and people that like to say, you watch those how do they do it channels, this one is probably my favorite little thing because they went and tore down this humongous thing. How long did it take you to tear it down?
10 hours.
10 hours. He hauled it to this warehouse. It wasn't here before. And they were like, we need more CO2. Until this time, you were creating your own CO2 up on top to keep CO2 levels up in here so the plants could eat it. Now it's completely changed, and now we have mushrooms. So let's show them how you're balancing this system out, which is, this was mind-blowing to me. Let's do that.
Yep. So mushrooms, mushrooms grow on, we grow them on a substrate, corn hulls or soy hulls and wood pellets. Now basically, they basically grow in here, and then we have a huge fan here, which basically takes the CO2. It's on the floor because CO2 goes down, and then basically it controls so you can hear.
Yes.
So basically, this will suck air out, pump it out here, it comes out here, and then it basically feeds our lettuce. So naturally outside is about 300 parts per million.
Right.
We sustain about 600 to 700 in here depending on the day.
Okay, so here's the next thing. Walk us through how you're growing the mushrooms, kind of like just some generalities, because a lot of us aren't going to understand the technical stuff.
Right.
Walk us through, because over here, I'll show you here in a second, there's a mash that they make.
Yep.
And so this is the mash.
Yep, so this is just wood pellets and water, so you let them soak up, so then you can mix them all up. So right now it's soaking. Doesn't look too appetizing at this point, but this is what it grows from. So basically this is water and wood pellets, and then we bring soy hulls in, put them in, mix it all together, and then we basically put them in these bags right here.
Right.
They have
So it has
breather,
like
a breather hole. Yep,
Okay.
because it has to build a vent, because it's pulling in outside air, you know, to create its when it grows, with the mycelium grows within the environment. So it needs to build a breather. So we put it in that bag, which then we take it, once we get it in the bag, which kind of looks like this. Okay.
So
this is after it's been inoculated.
This is after it's been inoculated, meaning that the spores have already been placed in the bag. That's
Right.
what's growing right here,
But
which is actually neat.
Yep, beforehand it's just that mixture without that. So we take that, we bring it over here, and we get that.
Sterilizer.
This is our sterilizer.
Bubble barrel.
A buffer barrel. So basically you turn that sucker on and it runs at 200 degrees and maintains that temperature in here for about a day. So we don't have anything in there, but basically you put it in there. That sterilizes it through steam. So we run reverse osmosis actually to that, so it doesn't damage the equipment. But once it comes out of here, you got to let the bags actually cool for about a day, which I can show you some bags. We just pulled them out.
Yeah.
Luckily it's winter.
Chilling.
We're using or it's fall. We're using the outside temperature to help us. So like I said, we're in an urban environment.
Wow, yeah.
So then basically the bags are cooling off here. So we take those and then we basically put the mycelium in there, 1 scoop, and then we seal the top. But right now, we want those to stay like that because we don't want mold and stuff to get in there. Because we're basically creating a perfect
You
environment
can
for mold
still feel
growth.
a little bit of the heat from when
So-
it's at 200 degrees.
So when we're talking about this, it's all sterilized as your substrate, right? So you don't want any of the outside environments coming into these bags.
Correct.
So are those patches that breathe, are they only breathing one direction?
They can breathe both directions, but we haven't had a problem with that. They have to cool. They have to be out in nature.
Right.
Right now, the temperature of these bags are still pushing about 100 degrees.
We'll pull it
them
in
there
another
real quick.
another hour or so.
Okay. All right, so now where do we go from here? This is crazy. This is
Back and forth.
Yep. Like I showed you over there, we put those bags. So we use our HEPA filter. So you have basically a HEPA filter. You put on the mask. So you know. Do all this.
all right.
You know?
The reason you're doing that is because mold spores are not good in your body.
No, and
They
also,
don't do well in your lungs.
No. Well, the other thing is I don't want to breathe them into the plants. So, into the mushrooms. So basically, you take the spawn, which has been, we keep it cold so it doesn't grow, and then we put about a cup of that in each bag. Then we seal it, basically right there with the sealer, and then we put it on a cart and we put it in that room. So it's really, simple as that.
This is kind of a cool thing because remember, they have to have CO2 to grow these plants to have this wonderful green,
Yep, vibrant look.
yeah, the vibrant look, and nutrient-wise.
Yep.
Yeah, healthy.
So then they go into here, and then it pumps it out. So let's take a look at some of the bags.
Yeah, so basically,
Tell me, like you've got dots.
Yep.
What are the dots?
the dots are different varieties. So we grow a blue, a gold, a pink, and we also grow a brown mushroom. So we just went with colors to make it oyster mushrooms to make it easier for us to identify. So basically, there's your mushrooms growing in here,
Amazing.
and we got dates on them, so we know exactly when to harvest them. So we're, like I said, just like our lettuce is on twice a week, our mushrooms are on twice a week.
Here's the other
cycle.
cool thing. In here, like out there, it's 70 degrees.
67.
67 degrees. Well, we can't give away those secrets, Carl. They have to learn those on their
Approximately
own.
60
There's
something.
We're not going to tell you those secrets. But in here, mushrooms, they don't want to be cool. All the heat that's generated is coming from these bags.
Right, absolutely.
Right, no heater in here.
No heater. And it's, well, I'd say, what is it?
Mid-
It's-
75,
yeah.
75,
And
77.
you got humidity.
75 to 80.
And then the humidity, actually, I'll show you that in a little bit. They recycle all the humidity that comes from the air, too, which is mind-blowing. All right, let's see what happens from the mushrooms from here.
Then you get the fruiting chamber.
What is this?
The fruiting chamber. So basically the fruiting chamber, what you have to do is that you bring the mushrooms in here and you cut the bags, and then they create the mushrooms here. We had a fan go out, so our mushrooms aren't looking as good over here, but over here we got some pinning going on. But basically this is where we grow in here, and we keep the temperature about 10 degrees colder than what it is in there, and you have to keep about 100% humidity. So, well, 95. So, and we also vent this out, and this also feeds our plants as well, because we get CO2 built up here. This is where you don't want any CO2 for the plants. You want to stay under about 800, or sorry, the mushrooms. Oh,
the misters are coming on.
Come on.
One thing unique about the blues, you see the blues here, how bright the blue is?
Yeah.
But as they get bigger, it doesn't keep that blue. That's the amount of blue, and then it kind of spreads it out.
Yeah. And one thing that's a folk tale is that people think that mushrooms don't need light. They do need light. At least some varieties do, these do, because they won't get their colors without the light. So we purposely have LEDs up here to give them the light they need.
Okay, so that's awesome. Now when I usually buy mushrooms, or if you go out mushroom hunting, right? You get your mushrooms, they're usually full of, like, on the back side of them, all the fins that are in there. They're full of bugs, they're full of dirt, they're full of everything in the combs. So check this out. It's like,
so all the gills here in the back side, you can see how clean they are, and that's because they're grown indoors and you don't have the outside, animals and stuff trying to eat them. Not only humans like them, animals like eating them too. So,
yeah. And they're so good. They gave me some and I cooked them up. So that's one of the perks of growing in this environment as well. Here we are. Let's talk about that little word local. All right. So, Terrence, tell me about what the difference of being in an urban environment doing this versus the quote-unquote organic stuff that's coming in from other places.
Okay, so if you go to your local grocery store and you pull the product, most likely it's going to tell you it's from California or Mexico.
Right.
So in the Kansas City area, it's a 2,000-mile trip. So you're picking it in California, and then it's being transported here 2,000 miles away. Okay, that doesn't happen overnight. So you look at most of the stuff, it's been on the, picked a couple of weeks before it even got to your shelf. Being local, we picked the night before. We deliver it the next day.
Yeah,
so
and that literally you're only like a few miles from the store.
Correct.
So.
We try to stay within a 50-mile radius. That's kind of what our business model shows. Because we want to stay local. We want the money coming back in. We want it to be local.
This is true local.
Yes.
And it's nutrients and all the insecticides gone. I think a lot of the farming type situation, it's going to go well for herbs and things like that. Carl, you started something, and when you guys started, it was Land Sea Food?
Land Seafood.
Land
Correct.
Seafood. See, I got that completely. That makes sense. So,
seafood.
Land Seafood. Seafood, there's a distinct difference between seafood or seafood. So, ultimate goal, you had these different goals. They actually have changed through the course of time.
Correct.
And so now kind of tell me where you're looking at. They're growing so much and they're doing so much stuff. They're almost to a point of capacity. So what's your ultimate goals? Where are we going here?
Ultimate goal is to have products that are not they're kind of unique to the commercial market here. You don't go see them. It's not just like a butterhead. We grow different kinds of lettuce, mushrooms. We're not just going to grow oysters. We'll grow others. But we also, Land Seafood was grow shrimp on land where you're not in the ocean. So that's where the company's idea was. Technology wasn't there for how we wanted to be able to manage it. We went Land Seafood. So we have land food, seafood, and that's where our goal is. So we do the lettuce and the mushrooms now. Our next quarter, we're going to be first quarter next year, we're looking to expand out and get into more mushrooms and varieties of mushrooms. We have 7 different types of lettuce, including arugula. And then we're going to also get into our shrimp and also probably some herbs and other things as we're led.
Wait. Did you just hear that, peeps? We got shrimp in Kansas. This is something that they're working on. A lot of this stuff's
Here's the shrimp.
Yeah, here's the thing. A lot of this stuff's proprietary. They've really had to narrow it down. Background? What's your background?
Industrial engineering.
All right. Background?
Industrial engineering.
He also did logistics, right?
28 years.
We're talking industrial engineering, 2 brainiacs coming up with an amazing way so we can eat our food. And that's what I really wanted to show people today, because what you have done here is absolutely amazing. I can't show you all the details and the stuff that they put on. It is kind of proprietary. They can always email, ask you questions, anyone that sees this video, regarding the mushrooms and how they've done stuff. If you're wanting to start, it's Hydroponics. You could actually reach out to them as well and deal with that. Correct? Did I get it right?
That's right.
Awesome. We got our next employee.
Wow, no, I'm not gonna be a boy. It's hard to shoot this video because there's so much and it's so cool. So all the techie nerds out there that wonder where your food come from, here's a little peek behind the curtain. Thanks, guys.
Hey, appreciate it.
And we're out.